All right, guys. So let's talk about what's happening right now. Okay. So the current situation kind of started when George Floyd, an African American man, was killed by a police officer that was pressing his knee against Floyd's neck while being arrested. So he was communicating with his voice that he couldn't breathe, through that suffocation. He was saying he couldn't breathe, and he ended up suffocating for about 8 minutes and 46 seconds. During this time, there were actually three other officers that were present, but they also did nothing to help Floyd. An example of helping would be like to pull the officer responsible off of Floyd. However, that didn't happen. Um, a recording of this event was actually released, as I mentioned. Right, everyone has a camera now. Cell phones are all built in with cameras, and everyone has a cell phone, right? And that's how this recording, or that's how this event was actually recorded and released. Went viral. Everyone saw it, and now that sparked a protest. Fighting for an end to police brutality and systemic racism in the United States. Police brutality being like over aggression or overuse of force by the police. Right, like it's not the police's job to execute people, right? It's their job to arrest people, and it's the court's job to put them on trial, right? So in this case, George Floyd was killed, right, despite not resisting, right? That would be probably the only reason that a police officer would have the right to use as much force as they did. Um, but in the video, he was not resisting. He had his hands in cuffs, already on the floor, and he's already apprehended. Um, so yeah, systemic racism is pretty much racism that's built into the laws, the systems that we have in place. One of them being like the the police system in general, right? How we set it up. Police are actually like immune, right? There's a lot of little complications to it, but police are basically like immune to being charged for inappropriate behavior, right? Even if they get written up, even if someone like essentially tells on them, right, that they were doing something wrong, most of the time cops are free to go, or they're like given essentially a paid vacation. It's like paid suspension. So that's what people are protesting for right now. So, how have people responded to the protests? President Trump has suggested governors use military force to stop the protests. And the officer that pressed his knee against Floyd's neck has been charged with second-degree murder. And the other officers present have also been charged, but with assisting murder instead. So that's just the basis of what's going on, just in case you didn't know. Um, so if you can, I highly recommend you look into what else may be going on and what else may have caused this. Obviously, the more information you know, the better. Um, and yeah, all of this information is going to be important for our lesson today. So that's why I wanted you to know.